Happy Friday, everybody. This is your girl, Crystal Jordan from location. You guys bear with me today. I am actually at Shatava Lindsey. It's a luxury resort here in Atlanta. I'm celebrating one of my best friend's birthday parties. Actually her birthday, rather. We are having a party. We are out here at Shatava Lindsey having a little wine, having a little food. So you guys help me say happy birthday to my good girl, Felicia Mims. It's her birthday weekend. So we're out here celebrating. So I am on location. I'm excited to welcome my girl tonight. She's from season 1. I know you guys will remember her as soon as you see her beautiful face. And we're going to get all into tonight's episode. So please help me welcome the very beautiful Shatava.
Hello, Crystal.
Hey.
Hi, honey.
Hi. I feel like I haven't seen you in so long.
No, I miss you so much.
I miss you too.
I see you online. I see you so much on the news because I love watching the news. I'm like, there go my girl. And I see you on social media. So I feel like I see you, but I don't physically see you.
I know. That's how I feel. I'm so proud of all that you have going on. Can I just say, and I know we got a lot to talk about tonight, but I think that you guys know I've been a publicist forever, longer than I care to acknowledge. But so many people come on reality TV and they think all they have to do is get on TV and all of a sudden they're going to have 1,000 fans and followers are going to make all this money. And that is not the truth. And can I tell you that you are one of the very few people that went on a show and actually did what she had to do, but had so much more going on. It continued to elevate. So you're actually in a much better position now, at least from what I see. You were doing so much. Oh. You let that add to what you had going on and you kept pushing. And I just salute you so much for not being one of those people that sit around and just want to be famous. You actually have the entire package. She has the substance and the work ethic to back all that up and so much more. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Crystal. It was so funny because doing Ready to Love was so challenging for me because I had so much going on. I had my boutique store in Nashville, Tennessee. I was just about to open my store in Atlanta. So it was at a time where I was going back and forth. And and running a business is so hard to, first of all, find a good team that's going to be by your side to help you with your business. I had to learn that and trying to do everything myself. And, us women, we all want to be super women, but it's important to have a good team to help you with the things that you have going on. So Ready to Love, oh my God, came in the middle of a crazy time in my life. But it helped me to be able to understand that I can't just do everything myself. I really need a team of people because if I have to step away to do something, what's going to happen?
So business has to keep going, right?
Have to keep going and your business has to be able to run without you. So I had to learn the essence of I need people in my life to really help me with my business. So being on that show really helped me to understand the need for good people in my life.
Wow, that's huge because I will say this, a lot of people say they have businesses, but they really don't. So going on a reality show doesn't really affect them. And, some of them are able to try to start doing something, but when you're a real business owner,
right,
that's a conflict. I used to work with Dr. Jackie and Dr. Jackie would say, well, Crystal, I'm not like some of your clients. Like I have a real job. Like Dr. Jackie actually is a real doctor. So she's really doing work. And that's the same thing with you. You actually had a lot going on. Your store in Atlanta was, really starting and doing well. And you were split between the two, but you have come through triumphantly. And like I said, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of everything. I see you you killing it with the clothes and really catering to your audience and coming up with new, fresh, exciting things. So,
yes.
We're going to talk about some more of that because I want to talk about this swimwear line that you have, Candy Box Slim. I want to talk about that. Can you stand up and show people the outfit though? Can you just give us?
I'm wearing I just have on a little jumpsuit right now.
Yeah, I know, but it's hourglass. It's always hourglass.
Hourglass. I got a little peekaboo on the side, so everything. I try to on the weekends if I'm going out, I'll be like on Friday making me an outfit, thinking about. Wow, I did Thursday. I was thinking about what outfit I was going to make me. So I'm in there in the sewing machine, like doing stuff for the weekend, just making. I'm such a creative, and it comes from growing up. I didn't always have I humble beginnings where we couldn't afford to get the latest and greatest outfits. You know, my mom was like, look, girl, you're going to have to figure it out on your own. So
right.
having to mix and match things, put things together, learning how to sew was like so important for me. And then I really appreciated the process of creating my own clothes. One, because understanding to myself and my body type, it was so hard for me to find clothes to fit me. So
Get it.
And being able to make my own designs, it made me feel a lot more comfortable and confident in who I was because I was able to make something that fits me correctly.
I love that.
I feel like it's.
Well, you know what? I think it's because you're probably on your phone, right?
Yes.
That's what it is. That's what it is. It's okay. We're going to work it through. It's just I'm on a laptop, and so it looks a little bit different, but people can see you. You guys know we are talking with Shatava from season 1, and I haven't really had anybody from season 1 come on this season and talk. So I'm happy to hear your thoughts.
Yes.
But before we get into tonight's episode, because tonight's episode was good.
Oh my God. Look, I was watching the whole episode. You know, I was rooting for some people. You know, the leading in prayer, who was that? AJ,
Jason
and Liz.
Yes.
When he came and met her family and he grabbed her hand at the table and led her in prayer, baby, listen, that is, oh, do you not understand how that makes you feel as a woman to have a God-fearing man, a man that loves the Lord and is not afraid to showcase that? Like I
right.
that moment today.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know we're gonna talk about it, but that was one of my favorite moments of the show.
No, it was. I will admit it was. And we know that Liz is very, very religious, right? She's really into the church. And, you know, I think Jason is really into Liz. I'm always suspect when a guy starts to do things that he knows I will want. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I did like the prayer, but I think the fact that he knew Liz's family is going to be just religious as she is, because that's how she was brought up. And I think it was something that he did because he seemed a little nervous, and it was a way for him to immediately get in.
Okay.
So I do like it, but I just was like, I don't know if he would have done that if he was having dinner with Kyra's parents. I don't know.
I hear. Okay, I see you.
I'm just asking questions.
Like, I'm looking at it like, oh, it was a really nice gesture. But like you said, if he knows that she's really religious and into the church, you know, a lot of people take especially what you tell them, and they'll use that to try, you know, to manipulate a situation or whatever. So again,
yeah.
Red flag. I missed that. Listen, you teaching me something.
Well, you know, I think I had an opportunity to talk to Alexis, and we had a great conversation. If you guys haven't seen that interview, make sure you go back and check it out on the channel. And we just, you know, I think that religion was a big thing this season, right? We saw Alexis is a former first lady. She was she was quoting scriptures all the time. Liz is very religious as well. And I consider myself a Christian, but I think that a lot of times people use that. They hide behind religion and they use it to seem a certain way. And then those people sometimes are the people that are doing the most dirt. So I'm not saying that Jason is like that, but I just felt like that quick prayer. He got so many brownie points for that.
Yeah.
I just like, I don't know. So, all right, tonight's episode, one big surprise that I wasn't really that surprised about. Shatava, you were in a kind of like a love triangle, but I've always said you and Shay rather, best example of sisterhood, hands down, right? We talked about that before when you came on the show, because it's kind of difficult, you know, being on a show where you're dating people and you're friends with different people. But so I know watching this season, and when you watch, you know how that feels. You know how it feels to be, you know, trying to figure out if somebody is feeling you or not. Coming from your perspective, when you watched Alexis and AJ and Kyra, what were your feelings? Because we saw how, you know, Alexis kind of threw a little shade at Kyra and AJ's relationship. Well, they're always fussing.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? So what did you think about that whole thing and how that played out?
I felt that she still wanted to be with AJ.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that she was kind of straddling the fence a little bit. Like she really wanted him to choose her, but he did not. So I feel like that kind of hurt her inside. Like
Yeah.
he had to accept something else, but that's not what she really wanted. I
Yeah.
felt kind of jealous of what they had going on, and she wanted that for herself.
Yeah. How was it? So how was it? Because it appeared easy, but I don't know, you know, how you felt. I thought you did a very, like, you know, the thing that I think most women would want to think they would do. You handled it very gracefully. But how did you feel when you decided to kind of back out of the situation because you felt like Mike was more into Shay at that time?
So it was, the situation with us was we had a cabin trip where we all went to stay at a cabin. Now, before, when we were going on dates, I wasn't able to see the relationship or whatever him and Shay were doing. I wasn't able to see their dates, to see chemistry, or to see what was going on. And you know, when you're dating someone, you don't ask, you know, well, how's your other date going, or you're just focused on what's going on with you and the other person.
Right.
So went to that cabin, I kind of was able to see the connection that they had.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like a genuine connection, and it seems like it was something that we didn't have. We were not there.
Right.
And looking at that, it was a moment where we were all at the table, we're about to eat, and we got into a heated argument. I remember being in the room talking to Mike about my grandmother and things that were going on in my personal life, and we were in the room while everyone else was outside, and it was like, where's Mike and Shatava? Where's Mike and Shatava? But it was a heated discussion where it was, hey, I mean, are you here with me or are you here with Shatava? So I felt for me, they had a stronger connection than we had. So for me as a woman, if I see someone has a strong connection, I'm not going to step in and mess that up. So I felt in viewing that, because as a woman, you want that connection with someone, and you don't want anybody trying to step in between your relationship and trying to ruin that. So I just felt like it was more important for me to back out of something that was potentially going to grow into something greater. So, and plus my relationship with Shay is just so awesome. We're both business women. We talk about business. We can talk about so many different things on so many different levels, and it's just a respect level that I had for her throughout the whole season. So we had well, and I just didn't want to mess up what they had going on.
Yeah, I applaud that. I think that actually when we talked to Alexis, she said that she saw some things after she watched it back that she didn't see when she was going through it. So, all right, let's get to tonight. We talked about, we'll just go ahead and get in and jump into Jason and Liz. I see people were commenting about the prayer. Some people agree that it could have been a little bit contrived. Other people feel like it was really genuine. What do you think about Jason and Liz? So Jason and Liz made it to the end tonight. You guys saw him bring the flowers again. He brought the white roses. That's his signature thing. So what do you think about them as a couple? Do you see them going the distance?
I feel like he's trying to do what it takes to keep her and knowing what she likes.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to please her because he knows what she likes. But is that the way to keep someone? Is that really genuine?
Yeah.
You know, relationships are hard work. It's not just about, you know, I know what she likes and I'm going to do everything to make her happy, because that doesn't always work like that. So do I see them over time? I mean, it looks nice. It looks great, you know, him bringing her the flowers and everything. But again, just like we just talked about with religion, maybe he's using that to play on the fact that she's very religious. So he's going to use that to win her heart because he knows what she likes. And I feel like a lot of time us as women, we kind of have our blinders on a little bit. We see, you know, we're so vocal about what we want, and we're not listening and we're not paying attention to the signs. And when you're telling someone that you're dating what you like, what you want, and they're just giving you everything that you're asking for, you have to pay attention to that, because that may not be genuine. And I think maybe this may be the case with them.
Yeah, I think I've said it. I like Jason and Liz. I like them both. I think that Liz is a lot more mature than Jason is, and I just think that I think he's extremely awed by her. She's probably like the most together, mature woman he's been with. But I don't know if that is something that will go on long term, because really what has to happen is you have to get over the attraction to the person and start to see the compatibility. And I don't know that they're going to be compatible. I noticed that every time his mother obviously liked her very much. I mean, she's very respectful. It's easy to like Liz because she's very sweet. She's very respectful, and she's a beautiful woman. But he just seemed like she seems a lot more serious than he does. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I like them together. But I just don't know if I see that being able to make it through. It could, because sometimes opposites attract. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times men mature, and this is not a slight towards him, men mature slower. You know what I mean? And she's definitely mature, and I feel like wants a husband and is ready to have a husband. So I don't know. It almost seems like he gave her the flowers, and then she gets so excited. It almost seems like it scares him a little bit.
Right. Like she's like, yes, yes. And he's like, what am I doing? Like, is this what I want? You know,
yeah,
kind of like that. So
I also think
prayer, I love, the fact that he did that. But again, is that really what he wants? Or
is that what he wants? And I'll say this, I think that if Kyra had have given Jason more energy, I think he was like, I'm gonna go with the safe bet. Mm-hmm. I think he really liked Liz too, but I think when he was with Kyra, to me, he was just like infatuated, like butterflies, he's like nervous. But I think because Kyra was indecisive, I think he chose Liz because she's a great option. But I just think that mature wise, he might have matched Kyra a little bit more. I want to ask you this, because I mentioned this last week. Kyra played the game like some of the guys have played the game, mm-hmm. right? I think women should do that more, because women usually end up getting hurt. I think women come to the show seriously trying to find love. Men come to play, as they always do.
Right.
What did you think about how Kyra had just about every guy there except KG named Kyra as their top, even David at one point. What do you think Kyra was doing, Shatava?
She's weighing her options. What's wrong? You can't put your eggs all in one basket. I mean, what's wrong with dating multiple people or just trying to fill out to see what you're really into?
Right.
It may be qualities in this person that you like, or this person. So it takes time to get to know what you're really looking for and what you want. Like, as women, I think we need to understand what we want in a man. Mm-hmm. Once and then, you're dating, you're trying to fill people out. Like, why would you just sit and only give one person a chance and not even have the opportunity to meet someone else just to see? We may be compatible. You never know. So instead of just honing in on one person, what's wrong with, let me just see what this person is talking about. This guys do it all the time. So why do we have to hone in on one person and this is it for me? I heard his conversation and this is it. No, she was doing the right thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Again, guys do it all the time. So when a woman does it, it's like, girl, what are you doing? Like, no. She's doing what she needs to do to fill everybody out to see if that's something that she wants. So there's nothing.
I agree. I think that people were so saying that, she's not genuine and she's not. But when men do it, when London did it, on the first season, it was done that we don't get such a negative, we support the guy being in the middle. London played Devon and Alexis to the end.
Yes.
I mean, and then even after was not being honest. Right. But when a woman, weighs her options, we respond to it differently. And there's a dating expert or dating coach named Stacey J that, lives, she's between Atlanta and I think a few other states, but She talks about girls needing to date multiple men, not sleep with multiple men, but
Right.
you need to date until you are sure that you found what you want.
Right.
And I definitely agree with that. That actually is a funny thing, a funny story. You and I went out on what we called a cutie run. You remember that?
I do remember that.
We were trying to meet this after the show. We were working on a project, and there's like, we need to meet some more guys. In Atlanta, pickings are kind of weird. And so we went out to meet people, but that's a big thing. I think when we meet somebody as a woman and he's the right one, we immediately cut everybody else off. And I mean, you were like, I'm not doing that.
Keep your options open. You cannot just meet someone. It's so many characteristics. It's so many things that over time you pick up from a guy that you may not like. So
yeah,
spend every moment of everything with someone if those characteristics are there, and it's something that you may not like. So keep your options open. There's nothing wrong with that. Like you say, you don't sleep with everyone, but you around and you date around so you can see, what works for you. I mean, that there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I don't think all the guys. Somebody said Jason's not in the games. He came for a serious connection. I don't think that all the guys come playing games, but I think we were talking about just general. Men usually aren't thinking they're going to come find their wife and take her, propose and all that. Men don't really approach dating like that, period. They always weigh their options. That's from the beginning of time. That's just what they do. And women are always, hoping that they get chosen. But I think we have to realize we have power and it's important to get what you want. So, okay. So we had Jason and Liz. We think they're good, but I just don't know. I don't know. This reunion is going to be interesting.
I can't wait to see it. I'm very.
So, okay. So let's talk. So Kyra, one of the things I did like about Kyra tonight, I respected the fact that even though she did cause AJ to send Alexis home, and then decided that she wasn't ready to be with him.
Right.
I respect the fact that she did not keep playing the game. That she was like, I don't feel this. There's that moment where she looked at the camera and she was like, I have not found love. She obviously doesn't feel that safe connection with AJ the way she said she felt with Jason.
Right.
I don't think she really was into Jason as much as she was AJ, but there's some disconnect there. But I like the fact that she did not go ahead and just accept it just to get to the reunion. I really respect her for that.
Right. I definitely do. And I think it was the moment where they were at the table too with her sister, and how her sister brought that red flag of, she was kind of seeing some things that she was thinking anyway. So I think sister bringing that up really brought another little thought in her head, like, okay, I'm already having these reservations about the situation that I'm in, and here my sister is, she's vouching for what I'm saying. So I really respected the fact that she did not. I mean, it's easy when a guy's choosing you to just sit there, oh, he's choosing me, so let me be chosen. But no, she was just like, no, this is not right for me. And again, what you want as a woman, and not accepting, even though he's choosing me, I have that power to choose whether or not I want to choose him as well. And her choosing herself, I think that was very, very good. And I'm excited and I'm happy for her that she just didn't go along with it and just say, hey, I just want to be with you, knowing that she doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, I agree. I think that AJ said, I don't think that AJ was into Alexis. So I don't think that he really wanted to go that way. So I don't think it wasn't a situation where there were two women that he was equally excited about. I think that AJ, the only person I felt like he really, really was feeling was Kyra. And also that could have been because they had a prior situation. And it was like, he said that this is an opportunity for me to right that wrong. Right. And it even with her, sometimes we know it's easy to go back instead of going forward. It's so easy to look back to something that's familiar as opposed to getting to know something that's new.
Right.
So their history, I think, played into why they still were connected together. But I do like the fact that she said no and was not willing to just go along with it because he chose her. It'll be interesting to see what his, if he reached out to Alexis or any of the other ladies after the show,
Right.
because we know that that's happened with the Mario, Tandy, and Riva situation.
Yes.
After Tandy and Mario were together for a couple of months, they broke up and he reached out to Riva, and they've been together ever since and are still together.
Right.
So it'd be interesting to see if any of that happens with that little triangle.
Right, at the reunion, right? Just like it happened with Honey and them,
That reunion was special.
Very special. But no, it'll be interesting to, like you said, if he hits her up, if he hits Alexis up. Yeah, I mean, but I felt like he had that connection. I don't know why he sent her home. I felt like they were there and I felt like he was confused. Like he really wanted Alexis, but then he kind of pulled back and said, I want to do something different. So I don't know.
Well, I will tell you this, in Alexis' interview, she did say that she goes back. I don't know if she went back to AJ or she went back to, I can't imagine it was Ron after how he acted.
Right.
But we do know, guys, that Alexis did give us some scoop. She did say, don't be alarmed. She goes back, but she comes to her senses. So AJ probably does reach out to her because that's usually what guys do. They usually go back to stuff they had before.
Sending them DMs or something and hit her up.
Oh yeah. And it's an ego thing too. Like you pick somebody and then she basically tells you she don't want to be with you. Right. Your first reaction is to go back to the person that wanted to be with you. Right. So I'm not, I think that he probably did. Guys, what do you think about? I want you guys we got a good group here. People are really active on the chat. What about Vernicia and Joelle? They have been consistent from the very beginning.
How do I see the chat? Oh, I can't see the chat, huh? I was trying to see if I could see the chat.
Yeah, I don't think you can see it on your phone. People are commenting. They said AJ is a good guy. I can tell. That's exactly how my husband is, laid back, low key, no fuss, not too much communication. That's even though communication is important. Men don't communicate the same way women do. We know that they just don't. Most of them don't. But yeah, he does seem like that strong, silent, kind of mysterious type. You guys tune in on Monday because on Monday, AJ is going to be here. We're going to talk. So make sure that you tune in on Monday. We do recaps on Friday, and then AJ will be here on Monday. But let's talk about Joelle and Vernicia. What do you think about that couple?
I think they definitely have a connection.
Yeah.
The fact that he's accepting her and her children. I know they had the whole conversation about the children. It seems like they have a genuine connection. I could see them making it with a little time. We'll see. But I think it's always been there, and they do have that connection.
Yeah. I think they were clearly physically connected, and they also seem compatible.
Right.
I do think that Joelle is a little slick, but I also think that Vernicia is on her toes, and she can deal with him. Right. I like the fact that they just both seem to get each other.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's funny because so many people are saying they don't see Vernicia and Joelle lasting.
Really?
Yeah, because he is, I think Joelle is very charming, and it's kind of hard to see how 100% sincere he is. I will say to his benefit, men show their feelings differently than women do, right? So, and he doesn't seem like the type. He seems very just charming to everybody and very respectful. So I don't, it's kind of hard to see if he's like serious, long-term serious, or this is just the girl that I like the best out of this group. You know what I mean?
I can see that. Yeah. It's hard, when you're being put on this show with, this is who I'm going to choose just because they're here. Or is this something long-term, even after the show, that will continue to go on? So, I like to keep up with that and to see how that's going to go later on down the line when things kind of die down from being on, and they're really trying to work on a relationship.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. This reunion is going to be really interesting. So I'm going to give them, I'm going to give them a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
I, I would like them to last, but I just don't know. I didn't get anything from Joelle that said I want to be with this woman seriously. What I got from him is she fine, she cool, she can cook, she cool. That's the one I'm picking out. I choose you out of this group.
Right.
I don't know if that was long term or that was just like, this gets me through the game. The thing about Ready to Love is that you guys are on the show to find love, but really it's somebody say you dig, right? All right, baby. That's all that just the baby is all of that.
Right.
Joelle got that smooth talk, but it's hard to know if somebody is on the show because they really want to win and stay on TV, or do they really want love? And it's hard. It's hard to know the difference. I mean, some people, KG is somebody I genuinely believe. I genuinely believe Jason. I just don't genuinely believe he's mature enough for Liz, but
right.
I genuinely believe KG wants love. What is your thoughts on KG and Amber?
I definitely think yes, KG does want love.
Yes.
Compatible? Could there be someone else compatible with him? Yes. Will that situation last? I don't see it lasting. I don't.
Yeah. What did you think about him saying that he was, because last episode he said that he was on sperm retention, he was celibate. I have no problem with a man being, or anybody being celibate. But the way he presented it and the way she did not really seem to be excited about that, I don't know. I think they're another match that was good for the show.
And then the age difference shows a little bit too. I don't know if the maturity level is there, or again, if just because wanting to get to the end of the show. I don't see that being a long lasting thing. I feel like he's really ready. I feel like that whole, what did he call it? The sperm, what was it?
Sperm retention.
Yeah, sperm retention. I don't think she took that very well. It was kind of like a hesitation to where I'll bring it out of you.
Yeah.
But I don't see that being a long, I don't see it. And then I like how his brothers were like grilling her and asking her all the questions. Like they were serious. They
were not playing. But you know what? I feel like he is one of those guys that is very sensitive, that leads with his heart, because we see how he got really played bad the previous season. And I think that it seems like that happens. The way his brothers were grilling her, it seems like a guy that gets hurt, always ends up in that situation. So I don't know about that one. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. Now I will say this: when Tommy came on the show, we had him on for Father's Day week. He said that there is a couple that he feels like could make it down the altar.
Ooh.
He didn't.
I'm like, okay, let me think.
Who do you think that could be? You guys, who do y'all think Tommy was talking about? Because I don't know. I mean, definitely, like, I guess Liz and Jason are probably going to last longer than anybody, because of the fact that Jason is really, really infatuated with Liz. And I think he would try, even if it don't fit, he's going to try to make it work.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, that's the only relationship that I could see that maybe it'll go longer term. But to the altar,
Tommy is pushing it. And maybe that's what he wants. I think that's what they want to happen.
Yeah.
From the show, I think they want a couple that will last, but we may have to try again for season 5.
Yeah, we may have to try again, because it has not been successful as of yet. I mean, we've had some to come close.
Right.
No,
well, I think Mario and Reva may, but we didn't see that on the show. You know what I mean? Like
that on the show, who was like at the reunion, then the switch. So we didn't get to see that on the show. So it's kind of, And then it's a smoking gun with being on television. I'm telling you, when the television, when the cameras are gone and you're really sitting there working on a relationship, were you doing it for the camera? Were you doing it for television? Were you doing it for the fame? You know what I mean? So that weighs up against everything too. Is this that's really genuine? So you have to really look into that. So after the cameras go away, what is that going to be like in their relationship? Is that connection still there?
I think I agree with you. I think it's hard when something is a game. You know, no, you said this might be my last season with Ready to Love. No, guys, we got to keep having these conversations. And hopefully the problem is it's a challenge. And when you challenge people to stay, you know, I gotta love wins, then they start to make decisions based on staying on television as opposed to following their heart.
I mean, you'll be surprised how many conversations people had on wanting to make it to the end, and it's not even there for being in a genuine relationship or wanting something that's genuine. They just want to make it to the end of the show, like how it's been on television. You know, you're seeing week after week. You know, it's something about that. You know, being able to be on TV. You know that.
No, absolutely. And actually, your season, I interviewed the entire cast. Most of the guys really were actors or had aspirations to be on television, not saying any names.
Right.
But that came out. I mean, they were really honest about the fact that this was an opportunity for them to get some exposure.
Yeah.
So that kind of throws, you know, they got to do something. Married at First Sight does a good job of being able to get people that really want to be married, right? And it's a total different vibe.
And it's a screening process too, to really understand the people that are being put on the show, what they're looking for, at what point they are in their lives. I mean, it was so many lies going on the season that I was on, and you know, looking for love. Like seriously, ask the question. I mean, they put us through. I remember we went to see a psychologist. It was a lot of screening before getting on the show, and it's like, how did these people pass? But anyway, that's
so okay. So Shatava, you self-eliminated.
Yes, I did.
You went home. We went on a cutie run. We didn't meet anybody that night, but we had fun.
We did have fun.
We had a good time. So tell us what's going on in your love life now. You actually were a bridesmaid for Courtney. We had her come on the show.
Yeah. So I'm engaged.
Yes. Show us the ring. I knew that. I just wanted you to share with everybody. Tell us about your love story.
Oh my God. So David is my fiance, David Thomas. He is from Detroit, Michigan. Oh my God, total opposite of me, but I tell you, it works. I've actually known David for quite some time. I knew David before Ready to Love, but it was, you know how timing is not always right. Like how you meet someone, and you know, I'm so independent and I'm always working on my own thing. And I kind of, you know, when you're in that grind mode and you got your blinders on and you're not really seeing, I think we were in that stage where we were just trying to figure our lives out. So it was, okay, the connection is there. But after Ready to Love and, you know, going through that, trying to understand and having good people in my life, we reconnected after Ready to Love. And when I tell you, just understanding a genuine soul and someone that's in your corner and that loves you, and not only loves you, because I'm such a busy person, I got a lot going on. He's such a busy person. He has a lot going on, but would take time out of their day. You make time for what you want. And that's what I had to learn. Take time out of whatever their busy schedule and help you come into your life, to help you on whatever path that you're doing. And that's something that David made me realize, that I don't have to be in this thing called life alone. Having a good partner to help you and a shoulder to lean on when things aren't always good and you're having good days, which is great, but those bad days, you need someone to be in your corner. And he is my rock. He is my system. He has shown me so much love. And not stressing myself out, working to death. He takes my mind off of so much. And it's just just realizing someone that's genuine and someone that just gets me, and he 100% gets me.
Well, I remember meeting him. We were taping the show at your store, and I remember meeting him and seeing the way that he looked at you. And I've heard, it's something about, you can see it in a person's eyes. And I remember thinking, wow, he really loves her. I hope she recognizes that, because as a woman, sometimes we're not, as much as we're always clued into stuff, we don't get that when he's quiet with it.
Yeah.
Showing you in other ways. Like, I was like, I hope she really gets that. This one is, I mean, he's not even, he's out of the way, but he's here and you could just see it.
Right.
And then I remember coming back. I think I met you somewhere and you guys were together again. I was like, I hope this stays. And then I saw the announcement and I was like, she got it. She got the one that really, really loves her. And I think your story is such a great example, because so many times women think that if one man, picks another woman, that means they have to change something about themselves. Right. That means there's something wrong. That means that they're like, no, sis, keep doing exactly what you're doing. Right. And the right one will find you and he will love you exactly as you are. You don't have to change anything. I mean, we can all try to be a better person, but you got to just keep doing you and the right one will come. Stop trying to fitting, round pegs in square holes. Like, it does, just go and be genuine and authentic. I do want to ask you, because I know you're busy. Besides your clothing, you have Hourglass, you have now this new Candy Box swimwear. You also do houses and flip. You do so much. How do you keep a balance so that you still nurture that new love and you make him feel important in that work schedule?
Relationships are a lot about compromise and understanding that it's not just you. Now you have someone else with you. One, we keep God first in our relationship, and that's something that he had to teach me, because I'm always going and not taking a step back to look at even the small things. Like you said, pay attention to some of the things that he was doing that I really wasn't paying attention to. It's like sometimes we're moving so fast that we're not slowing down enough to pay attention to those small details. So I've just had to learn, it's okay to slow down a little bit. It's, if you put the right processes and procedures in place when it comes to your business, you can sit back and you can enjoy your life, because I work ourselves to death. But when do we really start to enjoy life? And everything is not all about running around and having to do the next thing. It's about really living and enjoying. And we're all doing this, to have a family that we're raising with someone. So it's understanding that. And in the beginning, the thrill of, I'm happy because I'm doing all these things. I'm actually clouding my life with so much that I'm not sitting back and being thankful for what I have. And I think he's just made me realize that having someone else in my life, it's just such a beautiful thing. And knowing that you don't have to do things by yourself. It's so partnership. I'm telling you, it's important. And it's more than just a physical connection. It's more than that. It's about, is that person going to be there when you guys have nothing? Is that to hold you down? It's more than that. And that's why even with I just watched the show, and these relationships and standing the test of time. Even I think it was a conversation about what happens when you get angry. I forgot who, someone's parents brought that up, like how to handle situations like that. And it's not until you get with somebody and understand how that person reacts, certain situations. But I think we really have that down pat. I just think we just mesh.
Yeah.
That's what I really love. So I'm very excited to marry amazing man. It's not until I'm trying to get it all together, but I am head over heels. I'm just so excited.
I love that. And I love that you're still yourself. You still are Shatava. She's still doing the same thing. She's just in love. It just adds to that. When have you guys set a date?
So we're looking at, it's so funny. He wanted to get married this year. And I'm like, honey, like, it's too much going on. I'm in the process of rehabbing 5 houses right now at one time. So we're looking at April of next year. We've actually went to about 7 different venues. 7.
Oh,
He has a large family. He doesn't want to do destination because he wants everything.
yeah, everybody to be there.
Yeah, he's really big into family. So we've looked at 7 different locations, and I think we're ready to choose one. But April, it's going to be like April 23rd is the.
Okay, well, you have to let me know. Make sure I have a invite and a heads up when that gets ready. I actually was in a wedding for my girlfriend Shanira Rayson this weekend. She had 19 bridesmaids, but when I tell you 19 bridesmaids and probably about 17 grooms, maybe we had to make do, but a couple girls had to get their own selves down the aisle. But at the end of the day, it was so beautiful to see her entire family there, enjoying, loving on them, giving them all that positive energy. And I mean, not every couple has that type of grandiose wedding,
Right.
but whoever you have at your wedding, just make sure there are people that are really there for you guys and are really there to support. And I'm telling you, it was probably about 300 to 350 people there.
Wow.
Everybody was celebrating their love. Everybody was excited. And I think it's such a great way. It's such a great foundation for a couple, regardless if you have 5 people or you have 500,
Right.
make sure that everybody feels the spirit of you guys' love, because that's not always the case. But her wedding was filled with it was one of the best experiences I've had as a bridesmaid, with every single girl was there to just support and love on her and each other. It was a good time. So however you do it, make sure that you just, that people feel that special love that you guys have.
We just really wanted to show our family togetherness, like especially in our community, and showing the younger generation that you find somebody, you fall in love, and you get married. It's okay to show that togetherness and to form a unit to create something 2 people together can create. So just being able to have that wedding to show everyone that amazing things can happen when you come together with someone. So we really just want to show the family that amazing connection and that love. So it's really a thing.
Well, I'm so happy for you. I'm happy for you in that regard, because that's your life. Yeah. And I think I've learned that our business and what we do is not who we are. Yeah. So I'm happy for you as a sister friend in that regard. But I'm also so proud of you and excited for you with your business with Candy Box Swimwear, because I got to tell you, I remember we've had conversations about this. I grew up and, my shape was definitely not the one that most swimsuits were fitting. Definitely got, some cookies and cakes and hips and curves.
Yes.
And the waist is always smaller than so you get something and the waist is too big and then the butt is too small. So, and just the fact that it doesn't really celebrate, I feel like as Black women, and this is no slight, as women of color, period,
right.
Our skin color, our melanin looks good with any color. Like there's so many different options. So I love this line from what I've seen. I can't wait to get my pieces so I can wear them in Punta Cana next month. But tell us about Candy Box Swim.
Candy Box Swim is just something that, well, first of all, I've always wanted to do a swimwear line because I'm so picky when it comes to swimsuits. I'm a curvy woman. I'm heavier in the hips. So I'm so funny about the way swimsuits fit me. So I was so excited to do this line. I came together with she was on Ready to Love, Stormy. Me and Stormy are now business. Hey. Love her to death.
Congratulations. I didn't know that. Very cool. Stormy is so cool.
Yeah, myself, Stormy, and our girlfriend Ari, we actually came together to do this line together. And I really wanted something with bold colors because bold colors really look good on our skin color. So bold, popping colors. And I was so into the fit of these swimsuits because I know my issue was trying to find swimsuits to fit me. For my body type, I really like swimsuits that tie on the side because I can kind of control how tight I want it. Sometimes if swimsuits don't have that ties on the side, it kind of brings you in at the waist and it kind of looks odd. Some women with their body types, they can do that. But for women that more curvy. I'm really into the tie swimsuit because we can control how tight and how loose we want the swimsuit. And also the quality and the fabric. I'm so into quality and fabric, even when with Hourglass and everything I make for Hourglass, and just making sure it's meant for someone that's a small and someone that's a 3X. So it's really important to say, you know, there's no perfect size for a woman. I mean, we're all beautiful, no matter if we're small or 3X. So what I try to do when I make clothes is just make sure it's something that'll fit a small girl and it's something that'll fit a plus size girl. It may look totally different, but it's going to look amazing on both body types.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, do you have anything there that we can see? I see the Hourglass back in the back.
Listen, I have my little mannequin. It's something like, you know, I just work with different things and different fabrics. So I don't know if you can see, Lord, I should have had my whole clothing rack, but this is the actual print that I made in Photoshop. It's so funny.
Oh, wow.
Get to the camera. But anyway, I made this print in Photoshop. I was playing around with different colors, and what I did was I printed this on top of fabric, and then I sewed it into different designs. So
wow.
Yes, it's one thing to sew the things up and then going through mass production. So that's a whole nother thing when you're trying to create designs in different sizes. So I think I've been able to master the art of making sure I have something that fits a small girl and something that fits a plus size girl, and also tall women too, because those are hard to get those right. I'm really trying to work on my wide leg pants for women that are both short and tall. You know, changing those inseams. But I am so into design. I always have. And, you know, every single time I come out with a line, I go around, I find inspiration of things that I know women would like and that they'll feel so confident in. Because, you know, when we look good, we feel good. So
absolutely.
When creating these designs.
So, okay, let me ask you this, because I think swimsuit season, it's here. We're in the middle. We're in June. We're in the middle of it. What are some tips, some quick tips? And guess the name is Candy Box Swim. We're going to have Shatava give you all the information so you guys can go to the website and get your swimwear. You can also go and get the clothing line that pull from the clothing line that she has. That's absolutely amazing. I love wearing my Hourglass pieces. I think my favorite is the lace crop with the mermaid skirt. Just I kind of like feminine stuff. You know, I'm the super girly girl, so I love that. But let's talk about tips for swimwear. If you have an Apple figure, right? So you're kind of like more, you have more in the midsection than you do at either side. You're more like top, maybe shoulders, top heavy, and then also to your hips, and then you have really great legs. What are some things that you can do? What should you be looking for in a swimsuit if that's your figure?
I love a good high-waisted swimsuit, something that's really going to hold in that midsection, because a lot of us, the midsection is always the area that we can tend to be, you know, just a little shy to show our midsection. So really good high-waist swimsuit. And then if you're kind of broader in the shoulders, make sure you have something. Don't wear the strapless because you're going to be pulling it up. Wear something with some straps. So it'll complement your shoulders, and even tie in the back to showcase that back line. But definitely a high-waist swimsuit to hold in that midsection is really good. And again, I'm a fan of swimsuits that tie. So now we have the high-waist ones that can actually tie, but you'll be able to control the swimsuit is coming into your skin, so it's not giving you that dent in your skin on the sides. So I'm really big on high waist and then swimsuits that tie.
And that seems like that would even give you more of a silhouette. Like if it's high and then you tie it in, then it's going to show off or bring attention to, like, you know, giving you a little bit more of a waistline.
Oh yeah. To the fabrics, like I was so big on the material of these swimsuits. They have to be thick enough, one, to be able to hold you in. You don't want to go in water and then you can see all your understanding. So make sure it's some good quality fabric, and I was so selective about the fabrics. Both myself, Stormy, and Ari, we all went together to pick out these fabrics just to make sure it was quality fabric. And then when we went in water, that you couldn't see through the swimsuits, because some of those swimsuits are so thin and that coverage that you need. So that was an important factor as well.
Okay, so what about girls that are heavy chested? So if you've got girls that, and because I know sometimes it can be difficult for girls that are well endowed up here to actually find bras, and so with swimsuits, that could be an issue. What are some things that they should be looking for in a swimsuit that would complement that figure?
I like drawstring tops. The ones that kind of tie here and you can control and be pull them together. Like, I really like that. A lot of women, even though you have larger breasts, you still want to show a little cleavage. So grab that drawstring bra top that's going to really hold you in, and then you'll be able to tie it to control what those girls are doing at the top.
Yeah. All right. Now, I got to ask, because some of us have a lot of junk in our trunk.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say I'm very self-conscious about the junk in the trunk. And I also realize that when you have, an ample backside, doing things to kind of cover it sometimes make it look bigger. Yeah. So I would try to do, when I first, started wearing swimsuits, like I would try to do like a little tennis skirt thing.
Yeah.
And that was not complimentary at all for the junk in the trunk. So what can you do if you know that you're carrying back there, you're dragging something?
I like a sweetheart cut panty that kind of gives a little bit more coverage in the back, because honey, I know I got a little dents and dings, honey. So me wearing the thong is not always the best, because you want to be comfortable. Remember, you're on the beach. I already got everything out, so you really want to be comfortable. So I tend to go with the sweetheart in the back that's going to give you a little bit more coverage, because you're kind of a lot back there.
What's happening? Yeah.
Going to go right in. So pay attention to the cut in the back. Those little thin cuts, honey, are no good for women with junk in the trunk. So look for a sweetheart design, or look for the shorts, the high waist short looking panties that is really going to give you that control in the back.
Okay, that's a good option, because the tennis skirt was not the move.
Have some nice cover-ups as well, like some, the sheer cover-ups are really nice to add, that extra coverage. But again, when you take that cover-up off, you still have to be able to have that coverage in the back.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, definitely let people know where they can go to get the swimwear, what you guys are excited about, the swimwear and the clothing line. Let people know where they can go find it.
So for the swimwear, it's called Candy Box Swim. Make sure you guys check us out. It's www.candyboxswim.com. And all of our social platforms is Candy Box Swim. And for my clothing line is called Hourglass, spelled Ourglass. I look at everyone's figure as their glass. So my glass, in essence, is my figure. Your glass is your figure. And our glass is our figures as a whole. So follow me on social media at Shop Hourglass. Again, Ourglass. Website is shophourglass.com.
Very nice. Well, I want to wrap this by asking you, what is one of the biggest lessons that you've learned in your relationship? I think we saw you handle yourself really well on the show, but in your relationship, can you share like one of the challenges and one of the lessons that you learned through that challenge for some of the women that are watching that, are cheering you on in your love journey, but are hoping for the same outcome for themselves?
Yes. Well, I know with me, I was just so independent, and I'm so used to doing things on my own. I've been in a relationship with myself for so long. So just understanding that relationships are about compromise, and now it's not just you. So thinking of someone else, like I find myself a lot of times working all the time when my fiance, he wants to go to the movies or he wants to watch a movie. So it's like, do I sit here and I do all of is it necessary for me to do the things that I need to do? Is it necessary? So learning that, yes, I'm very independent, but I also have somebody here to help me now. Like, I don't have to do everything on my own. So just having that partner with me is helping me to really understand that it's not just me anymore. I have someone else that has my back. And that's what I really, really cherish about my relationship.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you saying that, and I can tell you I'm in the same exact.
That's a good. Congratulations to you too, Crystal.
Thank you. Thank you. I try to come on here and talk and be really serious, but I'm like, I'm really in love. But but the thing is, it's been difficult for me to, I'm so used to being by myself and so used to being having to do everything and having to tackle everything by myself that it's not that you don't often want to involve the other person. It's just that's not my goal. That's not my normal default. My default is something comes up, Crystal handles it. Crystal works nonstop. And so I appreciate you coming and saying the things that you're saying. So I'm like, okay, I'm not by myself. Like I'm wanting him to know that I appreciate and I'm so thankful to have a partner, but it takes a while to get used to that. Yeah. But because he's been consistent and has always, shown up, it makes it easier. But it's definitely something to get used to. But I think that women feel bad because they're independent. And I think that's wrong. I don't think you should feel bad about it. I think you stay that way until you find someone that is worthy of you allowing in, and then you share with them and you grow together. You know what I mean? So, but I appreciate your honesty about that because it's a process. I'm still working through it.
The process, and it takes a lot to get used to, especially when you're so used to being by yourself and doing everything yourself. I remember when he first asked, gave a helping hand. I'm just like, what? Like, wait a minute. Because I had a list of stuff that I needed to do. And it was like 12 things. I'm like, okay. He was like, well, let me take some things off your list for you. And I'm just like, okay, well, that's all right.
Well, have it then. I remember.
Yes, it just works. So I'm just so thankful. I'm so thankful.
Yeah. I remember at your shop, you were doing a gazillion things, and he was just sitting there watching, and he just picked up and started fixing things without you. Probably you didn't even know that he was doing that. And I was like, oh, we need to keep him. We need to keep. But and it's not about him. It's just he just saw that you needed help and you weren't asking for it. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, he does that all the time because I do so much even with the clothes, my photo shoots. Like he's there steaming the clothes, and people are reminding me like, Shatava, do you see him? Like he's like.
I wanted to ask you. I think I did. I was like, I really hope she understands, because it's easy for other people to see, right? It's easy for you to see someone else's situation like she got a good one. But I also think it's important to show that you got a person that is genuinely in love with you. You live in Atlanta. I hate when people say, well, you can't find a good man here. When it's your time, it's your time. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what circumstances are around. He will be there. So I thank you for sharing that part. We definitely want to have you come back. And I definitely want to make sure that I get a chance to witness you guys' journey. But I'm so happy for you and so proud of you, my sister.
Kristen, I'm so happy and excited for you too. Yeah.
So I'll be sharing more with you, but you guys definitely go to the website, go get one of those swimsuits. Make sure you tag Shatava and let her know that you're enjoying the swimsuit. And we're definitely going to tune in to Ready to Love this reunion. After the 4th of July, I'm ready.
I'm excited about it. I am so excited. The reunion always brings some craziness. So
absolutely. You guys set it off and we've been there ever since. So well, I appreciate it and I will talk to you soon.
Yes, thank you so much, Crystal.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, hanging out with me as always on a Friday night. Like I said, I am coming to you from Shatava, a beautiful resort here in Brazelton, Georgia. But I had to make sure that I got online and talk to you guys about this show because tonight's episode, although it wasn't a lot of big surprises, I think it set us up for a reunion. So we're not sure. I'm not sure about KG and Amber. I don't feel very confident about that relationship. In the same token, I'm not a Jason and Liz fan. I do think they're going to make it further because I think both of them are more committed to the process, right? I think Liz definitely wants a husband, and I think Jason wants a wife as well. So I think they'll go further. Joelle and Vernicia, they could be the couple that Tommy was talking about. I don't know. They could be. Time will tell, but I'm definitely interested to hear what AJ has to say on Monday about how he felt when he realized that he and Kyra were not on the same page. Make sure that you guys tune in on Monday at 8 o'clock to hear that conversation with AJ. And also make sure that you're here on Sunday at 6 o'clock. I'm going to be doing a very, very important conversation on HIV testing. It's actually HIV testing day on this Sunday, and it's such an important conversation that African American women need to have. So few of us are comfortable talking about HIV testing, and we are still one of the leading groups being affected by this disease. So we need to have a conversation. So you guys join me. I'm going to actually have Eva Marcel, actress, model, the very, very fabulous Eva Marcel. We're also going to have Jennifer Freeman, actress Jennifer Freeman. You guys may remember her from My Wife and Kids. She's all grown up, and she's going to join us on Sunday. And also a doctor that's with the organization that works with HIV and AIDS patients. And she's going to tell us some information and explain to us how we can be more informed as African-American women. It's being brought to you by the Black Women's Health Initiative. So I'm really honored to be a part of it. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. So make sure you tune in for that. Again, Monday night at 8 o'clock, but Ready to Love, we're back with AJ. Other than that, you guys enjoy your weekend. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my weekend here at the resort, and I will see you guys on Sunday. Have a good one.